sure you guys already know me, but my name is Kiara, and I will be explaining to you how tornadoes are caused, formed, and how destructive they can be. Tornadoes can cause such bizarre destruction, and they can drive broom handles through brick walls and straws into tree trunks, spiraling out of the sky at speeds up to 300 miles per hour. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the tornadoes from the bomb story, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Well, where we live, we are right in the middle of Tornado Alley, but I'll be explaining more to you about that later. But when a tornado touches the earth, destruction is sure to follow. What is a tornado? Well, a tornado is a rotating column of air produced by a thunderstorm and are cone-shaped. A tornado is formed in a cycle. The cycle starts by a strong thunderstorm developing a rotating system, which becomes a thundercloud cell. Rainfall in the cell increases, which drags down descending air with it. As it accelerates toward the ground, it drags down the rotating system with it. The rotating speed will increase in the new formed funnel cloud. Once it reaches the ground, a tornado is formed. There are 7 different levels of tornadoes on an F scale. The F scale was named by Ted Fujita, and it classifies the tornadoes by wind and with potential damage. I will list the levels, then give some explanation on how the destruction is with pictures. The first level is an F0, and it is a very weak tornado. The speeds can be between 40 and 72 miles per hour. Some of the damages it can cause is break branches off trees and damage signboards and chimneys. As you can see, the roofs and the shingles are torn off. These are both F0s. And the next level is an F1, and it's just a weak tornado. And speeds can be between 73 to 112 miles per hour. And damages can be broken windows, tree snaps, and trailers overturned. As you can see in these pictures, the trailers are overturned. The tree is snapped around the truck. And it's kind of a picture of what an F1 tornado would look like. An F2 tornado is a strong tornado with speeds of 113 to 157 miles per hour and about 100 to 200 yards wide. Roofs can be torn off, trailer houses demolished, and cars blown off the highway. As you can see, the roof is completely caved in this picture, and the roof is just gone too. An F3 tornado is a severe one. Winds can be between 158 to 206 miles per hour, and 200 yards to a fourth of a mile across in width. Cars can be lifted off the ground, and block structures can often be leveled. And as you can see here, there's nothing left of this house. And trees are snapped, and cars are completely turned over and moved. F4 tornadoes are devastating with winds up to 207 to 260 miles and a fourth to a mile across in width. This tornado can leave piles of debris and tear down well-constructed frame houses. As you can see, this house is completely gone, and cars have obviously been moved. And there's nothing left of this house but a few walls. The 6th tornado is a level F5, and it's an incredible tornado. Winds between 261 to 318 miles per hour, and about half a mile to 2 miles across in width. Damages can be cars flying and houses being lifted off its foundation and completely moved. Here's actually a picture of the Greensburg tornado, which was an F5. And this car is completely wrapped around this pole because of the tornado. There's nothing much left of this town. The last level on the F scale is an F6 tornado, and it's called an inconceivable tornado. And the wind speeds can be up to 319 miles per hour and above. And the scientists believe that winds can't go above 300 miles per hour, so they call that the thermodynamic speed limit. And I've never heard of a level F6 tornado before I did my research. So as far as I can tell, there's never been a level F6 tornado. What is a tornado? Well, a tornado isn't considered a tornado until it has reached the ground. Until then, it's considered a funnel cloud. If a tornado crosses over the water, then it is considered a water spout. And as you can see, I kind of did a little experiment so you can get a visual on how a tornado works. When you spin this bottle, if you look closely, you see the funnel cloud in there spinning. There's some debris floating around in there. I'll let you guys look at this later too. You see the funnel cloud spinning. That's kind of what a tornado would look like up close. I think a tornado most of you are familiar with is the Greensburg tornado that happened May 4th of 2007. That just completely devastated the whole entire town. And here's a video that I found of the destruction of that Greensburg tornado. As you can see, there's complete destruction. Cars have been thrown around and many houses leveled and very few trees standing. And as you see there, that's a tornado shelter. And that's actually someone's tornado shelter. And that would have been the only safe place was F5 tornado. But as you can see all the debris around it, that was what was left of the house. And as you can see, that is a fork stuck in a tree. And notice how the bark is completely torn off too? Well, that just shows the power of the tornado. And it's why it's so dangerous with all the flying debris. So imagine if this fork would have been flying through the air and hit someone in the head. It's not only the wind that's so dangerous as all the flying debris in the air. As you can see, that's another tornado shelter. And the whole entire house has actually been shifted off of that tornado shelter. And so if someone would have been living in that basement, it would have been kind of hard for them to even live through that tornado because as you can see, all that debris had been put in the basement of the tornado shelter because the house was completely moved off. And this is also a school that was there. And that's the front doors that you see. And that was the only wall left standing. And that beam that you see, that was actually the roof. So I got completely torn off, everything, and that's all that's left of the whole entire school. I found this a neat video because the Greensburg tornado is one I can actually remember. And our family drove through the town only a few short weeks following the tornado. As I talked about earlier, we live in a place called Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley is located in the central United States and is mostly flatland. Since weather usually travels east, the thunderstorm will travel over the Rocky Mountains and will cool down the air. So once the thunderstorm reaches the Tornado Alley, it will heat up quickly and start to develop the tornado. As you can see, this is a picture of the exact Tornado Alley. The red area is. And we live right here, so we live exactly in the Tornado Alley. Right in the middle. You can look at that. Tornadoes can be a deadly thing, but they are survivable. There are ways to survive them, but when you know a storm is approaching, the easiest way is to watch the news. So when a tornado watch is issued, it means that a tornado is possible. When a tornado warning is issued, it means a tornado has been spotted, and usually you need to report to a safety shelter right away. There are many different shelter ideas, as in basements, closets, churches, bathrooms, and any place with a windowless building. Make sure you know beforehand where your closest tornado shelter is located, because you don't want to be frantically trying to find a shelter when a tornado is on its way. In my house, we have an all-cement walls and ceilings for our tornado shelter in my basement. It is always a smart idea to create a disaster supplies kit in your shelter. When a tornado is on its way, you don't want to have to be trying to find things you know you may need in case of a tornado. The things you could include in your tornado disaster kit is a first aid kit, canned food, bottled water, battery-powered radio and flashlight, and shoes and gloves. And it's always a smart idea to pack extra batteries too. My family has disasters supply kit in our tornado shelter already. And we have all those supplies in our kit, but we have an extra change of clothes and medicines. Tornadoes can do crazy things. The damage can't be predictable. They can pick up objects and deposit them miles away, can skip around, damaging a whole block but missing another. And once a chicken was completely plucked of all of its feathers, but still lived through the tornado. As you can now tell, tornadoes are really bizarre with their destruction. They are one of nature's most violent and unpredictable storms. Not often do tornadoes touch the earth and not have destruction follow. If you follow the safety measures I explained, tornadoes are survivable. I hope everyone learned something about tornadoes you didn't know before, and now know how to survive them. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
And what makes the tornado turn dark? When it comes down, is that from the debris that it picks up, the dust in it? Is that what turns it?
Yeah, I did some research on that, and a lot of the darkness is the dust that it builds up within. Because once it, like I said, once it touches the ground, it then becomes a tornado, so it starts picking up all that dirt and